Hey peeps, welcome back. We're talking The Real Housewives of Orange County, Season 18, Episode 20, Reunion Part 3. Hey, before we get into the video, please do me the honors of subscribing to my channel, hitting the notification bell so you can always be notified when I post new content, hitting the thumbs up because that does wonders for my channel, and share. Thanks. All right, peeps, it is Sunday, and I am just now watching The Real Housewives of OC. I still have not watched Life After Lockup, but I will once I post this video. I did see online, remember either part 1 or part 2 of the reunion, they talked about Katie getting that guy arrested. His name was Sydney. I did see online that Sydney said that Katie's story is absolutely fabricated and absolutely not true. He said that he did win his judgment against her because she didn't show up to court. So he won a $100,000 judgment against her, and he has not been able to collect the funds. But now that he knows that she's on The Real Housewives of OC, he has his attorney on it, and he is definitely going after her for his $100,000. So if I was her, I would just pay up and move on. I also just wanted to make a little announcement regarding the channel. I've mentioned this before that sometimes when I post videos, when I put the clips in, sometimes I get like copyright warnings from YouTube stating that the owner of the content or just YouTube in general has flagged my account and is giving me a warning that I've used too much of the owner's content. Well, yesterday I got a full-fledged copyright strike from The Real Housewives of Salt Lake. So therefore, going forward, I will be using very few, if any, clips at all. Once you get 3 copyright strikes, you are shut down. So I'm not going to go through this. This is a lot of bullshit, in my opinion. I see other channels using full clips, and I don't see them getting in trouble. I have no idea what the hell this is about, but I'm not even going to fight with it. So there will either be very limited clips or there will be 0 clips at all. Sorry about the inconvenience, but after getting this full-fledged strike, I am really sad and upset about it, and I'm not going to go through it again. So the current video that's up now for Salt Lake City, I had to remove a lot of the clips and repost the video, and it seems to be okay for now. All right, so let's get into this episode. This episode picks up right where it left off with Shannon letting everyone know that Alexis is a TV star. And Alexis goes ahead and informs us that she has been on TV for 15 years. And later in the episode, she makes some sort of comment that she didn't know she was being filmed. And I said to myself, didn't you just announce to us that you were a TV star who has been filming for 15 years on 5 different shows? However, you don't know when you're being filmed. Okay? Bullshit. Anyway, I would also like to say that I'm probably going to be all over the place with this video because there's a lot of stuff that I'm just trying to go off memory on. So let's get into it. When it picks up, like I said, it starts off right where it left off. Alexis is still being delusional as hell. She is caping hard for Johnny J. And I think that that was the mistake. That was the problem. You know, she did post on her social media after the episode aired. She's really sad about the way people took her on the show. She didn't come back to be the villain. She says that she's got all these receipts and the show didn't let her show them. And some of the stuff that she was able to prove, it ended up on the cutting room floor. She feels like she's being mistreated and misjudged, and she has been hurt terribly. I have posted it here. If you want to push pause and read it, feel free. I think that Alexis is an absolute idiot. She had a prime opportunity to come back on the show, get a paycheck, be a real full-fledged housewife and a real member of the group. If she would have came in and decided to try to work things out with Shannon, if she would have came on the scene and said, hey, Shannon, I know you've been going through a lot. I know you had the DUI, and I know it's not easy for you to see me here, especially since I'm dating Johnny. I just want you to know that I'm not coming after you. I wish you the best. They could have kept it cordial. They probably could have even had a good time socializing in the group together, but she came in too hot and too rude right off the top. That was her own fault. Some housewife fan found an old Reddit post from 13 years ago. And somebody posted and they said, my ex-aunt cheated on my uncle and they divorced. She is now on the show, The Real Housewives of Orange County, with a man she cheated with. What weird family story related to celebrities do you have? And then they went on to say, her name is Alexis Bellino. She is totally fake and full of shit. Nobody ever really liked her to begin with. Always super high maintenance and bullshitty. I can probably figure out a way to provide proof, but I'll have to find and look through some old wedding photos and don't particularly feel like it. You know what? Even though they didn't pull out any real true proof, somehow I believe that shit. Anyway, moving on. Alexis goes on to say that Shannon is obsessed with John. And I thought to myself, Alexis, you are the only one that is coming in so hot and obsessed with John. You were talking about him constantly, the whole damn time. And, Andy sticks up for Shannon and he says, listen, John is suing her. She has every right to speak about John. Alexis is trying to come up with an excuse stating that the reason that John yelled at Gina and mistreated her the way he did was because he was hungry. First of all, that was 2 years ago. You didn't even know him then. That makes me think that Shannon was absolutely right when she makes that comment that Johnny has prepared Alexis. It makes it seem as if they went back and watched every season of the show that John was on and he gave her an explanation or some sort of excuse for every single thing. Why does she know this? And I said to myself watching the show, I said, listen, if I was in a real, true, honest, loving relationship, I was engaged to this man, I'm so excited, we're going to be getting married, there is no way in hell that I would be going through years of a relationship that you had with your ex. I'm not sitting down with you to go through a forensic count of everything. I'm not doing any of that bullshit. That is your ex. Leave it there. Don't bring that bullshit into our relationship. She also says that she came in so hot because Shannon had defamed Johnny. And Andy points out that Shannon was always defending him. She was always asking the girls not to say anything negative about him. She was always trying to make sure that he was seen in a positive light. So that's absolute bullshit, Alexis. Shannon makes the statement that when they go to court, if they go to court, which we all know that currently they have settled, and she went ahead and wired him $60,000. So she says that if we do go to court, I will have all the numbers and all the numbers will come out. Now, Shannon has been saying this from the beginning, that at the start of her and Johnny's relationship, for the beginning of the relationship, she paid for everything. Alexis is trying to make it seem as if Shannon is saying that throughout their entire 5-year relationship, Shannon paid for everything and Johnny didn't pay for shit. Alexis keeps doubling down with these comments that Johnny paid $368,000 into this relationship. You did not pay for everything. You did not pay for everything. Alexis, shut up. What does it have to do with you? Why do you have records of this? Now, one thing Alexis said that I agreed with, she told Emily that she needs to butt out. She's been talking through everything, and I agree with that. Emily, butt out. Now, later when Emily goes for Alexis's throat, I was here for it, but right then, just shut up and allow her and Andy and Shannon to talk. Andy does ask Emily to let Alexis speak. They bring up those Ferragamo shoes, and Alexis says that she's bought Johnny $800 shoes as well. Shannon wanted to make it clear with Heather that those shoes, when she bought them, were not on sale. They were $800. Alexis then tells Shannon, well, why don't you tell them about the $10,000 necklace he bought you and the Louis Vuittons? Shannon says Johnny Jansen has never bought her a $10,000 necklace. And my thing is this, Alexis, why do you know that he bought her a $10,000 necklace and Louis Vuittons? And why is that your business? You are so happy and you are wearing a $70,000 or $75,000 engagement ring. Why do you give a shit what happened between them in the past? Especially if you know him so well and things are so wonderful. He's your perfect guy and we're going to get married and be happy and we're just going to travel the world. We're going to do everything together. Shut up and go on about your life. When Andy brings up the whole lemon bowl on her engagement photo, she tries to act like she doesn't know what he's talking about, that there was no shade, but that was an absolute lie. You know good and damn well that you and John set that big ass bowl of lemons out there to try to throw shade at that woman.
Do I think he wants to be in the spotlight? Yes, I do think he wants to be in the spotlight.
It's clear.
Okay. Well, we interviewed John and Alexis.
I want everybody to know that our relationship is real. It happened organically. Yes. And I was single for a year before we met.
Although other people have other things to say, but we know the truth.
Wait, neither one of us were looking.
There was a narrative online that you were dating him to get back on the show.
Mm-hmm. John was texting me. He loved me two months before he met you.
So he said he was single for a year? Is that what he said?
You admitted it. And by the way, being a friend of benefits, it's okay.
Now listen, I appreciate Heather saying that yes, she does think that John wants to be on TV, even if Alexis was sitting there trying to act like it's not true. It absolutely is true. That man is always trying to be on all the red carpets with her. He's got his mouth open, ready to talk on all the interviews. He is absolutely trying to be famous. And I appreciate production throwing that up there. She was absolutely still in some sort of relationship with Johnny. And not only that, I didn't appreciate Alexis kept throwing up there, it's okay to be friends with benefits. It's all right to be friends with benefits. Well, it's okay. We understand your relationship history, but we talking about Shannon right now. I have never seen anything like that. And then when she goes on to say, you guys broke up the day after Thanksgiving 2022. I already know that because I asked him, because I was pretty sure you guys were going to ask. You look like a fucking clown. Sometimes men lie. Women lie too. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and be honest. I hung out, spent some time with a dude. I told him I didn't have a boyfriend. I was lying. Shit. But of course I wasn't 60. This was back when I was in my early 20s. I lied. I have grown the hell up. Johnny Jansen has not. He was still talking to Shannon. Spent all that time with Shannon. Get the hell out of here. And then Alexis in that bullshit comment, did he ask you to be his girlfriend? I said, what? What? I was not shocked that the rest of the girls said the same thing. What is she talking about? Even Tamara and her vile ass. She said, are we in kindergarten? I said, what? Listen, middle school, high school, that's when you do the whole, will you be my girlfriend? I mean, seriously. That man was spending all of his time with Shannon, staying the night at her house, going on vacations with her, having the sex. They were together. Then there she goes being the victim again. Andy, I will not be ganged up on. I will not be ganged up on. Girl, shut up. But she called Gina and Emily Tweedledee and Tweedledum.
You're the dumbest girl I've ever fucking met.
No, ma'am. Emily said, no, ma'am. You are the dumbest girl I have ever met. Whew, Lord. Gina didn't say much, but Gina got a kick out of Emily telling her to hell off. I'm just saying. Alexis, girl, then she's going to say that she graduated too. Shannon said, with what degree? I was thinking the same damn thing. And then Gina said she knows a lot of dumb people who graduated. And Alexis, you've just been added to that damn list. I'm just saying. Whew. Girl, they done got my head hurting. My precious up. Anyway, you know what? You hear that noise in the background? One of my neighbors is mowing the lawn. And you know what I would like to know? Why the hell are you mowing the lawn? I'm just saying, it is 32 degrees outside. Really? Anyway, it's cold as hell here. And somebody's out there mowing the damn lawn. Oh, let me move on. This is not about my damn neighbor. So Emily has a little side conversation with Tamara. She says, how are you friends with this woman? Tamara says, she's got a big heart. She does. Emily says, no, she doesn't. It's just the John stuff. Then Tamara says, you were friends with her prior. Emily says, we were just social friends. Heather says, you brought her on the show. She was talking to Tamara, I think. And then Emily says, well, I regret it. She regrets being friends with Alexis. You know what? You should also regret being friends with Tamara. Alexis went on still trying to push the friends with benefits. And then Tamara says, well, he picked her up from jail after the DUI and stayed with her all that time. And Alexis did not look like she was happy about Tamara making that statement. But that doesn't sound like just a friend with benefits. Then Andy had to go into full-fledged daddy mode. Shannon was trying to speak and Alexis tries to interrupt, and Andy says, please let Shannon speak. And she says, well, you don't do that for me. And he says, well, I'll do it for both of you. I said, oh my God. Everybody's looking around. I'm looking at the TV. I said, what the hell? And Andy is probably thinking, damn, this is how I have to talk to Ben and Lucy at home. And now I'm doing this shit with a grown-ass woman. She's too damn much. Shannon makes some sort of comment that Johnny owned a small percentage of a business. Alexis jumps in and says he owns the biggest percentage in the business. And Shannon says, if he owns the biggest percentage in the business, then why did the other partner get $50 million in the sale and Johnny only got $5? I don't know why Alexis tries to jump in and talk. Why does she think that she knows more than Shannon? She then goes on to say, I have seen all of his accounts and he has seen mine. I know everything. Do you think that you have covered absolutely everything in this short time that you have been with him versus the 5 years that Shannon was with him? This just seems weird to me. What the hell does Alexis and John talk about that's not Shannon? Andy then asked Emily her legal advice regarding the promissory note in the loan with John. The promissory note was sent after the loan. Emily says that that is not legal. You cannot send a promissory note after you have already made the transaction. She said if that was the case, people would do it all the time after they had a moment to think about it. But then they do show some text messages between Shannon and John, and it does seem like at least the day after he gave her the money, he was very clear that it was a loan. Now, I don't think that that's legally binding, but he did tell her the day after it was a loan, and Shannon did say in the text message that it's not a business loan, it's a loan between a boyfriend and a girlfriend. So therefore, Shannon knew it was a loan. Now, Johnny didn't ask for it back right away. He waited until they got on TV to ask for that money back and file that lawsuit. They bring up the offer, and Alexis tries to say that John didn't want to sign because of the agreement that he would not be able to speak about Shannon. And Emily says, well, that's ridiculous because the deal was that both of them would have to sign it. So neither one of them would be able to speak about it. So she says if he would have accepted Shannon's offer throughout this entire season, she wouldn't have been able to speak on John. And John wouldn't have been able to speak on her either. And that's the thing, though, with Miss Mouthy Alexis, she's not a part of it. So she would have been able to talk shit all season, but Shannon and John wouldn't have been. So that lie that she told that John didn't sign it because he thought that Shannon would talk about him all season and then he wouldn't be able to respond makes absolutely no sense. You know, she says, well, make the offer again. Make the offer again. Shannon says, I'm not going to make the offer to him now after everything that both of you have put me through and after the legal fees that I have paid. No way. Then Alexis later makes a statement. Well, don't worry about it. The season's over. It'll be over soon. You know, they'll go ahead and settle. And so everybody's thinking, you just pretty much said it. Because when we asked you earlier about the timing of this, you tried to say that, you know, he just had asked her for his money over and over again, and I'm paraphrasing, and he just wants his money back. Then later we find out that he says that he filed the lawsuit at that time because the statute of limitations. But it does seem weird. Jen says that she asked him direct when they went out to dinner, why is it that now you sued Shannon? Because the timing looks weird. It's odd. You're dating Alexis. We're filming a show. And now all of a sudden you're suing her. And now Alexis makes this statement. Now that the season is over and we're not filming, they'll settle. That just proves it. You and Johnny set all of this in motion, including suing her because you thought that it would pop off and look good for you and Johnny on TV. And it didn't work that way. And according to the word on the street is Alexis has already been given her walking papers, letting her know that she is not invited back next season. And I'm not mad about it, not even a tiny bit. But what I was not here for was Heather asking Jen and Katie to speak up to Alexis and talk about how Alexis is such a good person. And I'm paraphrasing. I said, why in the hell would you ask Katie to do that? You just spent the last 2 episodes bashing this woman, talking about how big of a liar she was and how you couldn't trust shit that she says. But now you want her to stand on 10 toes for Alexis? Shut up over there, Heather. All right, you guys, I told you I'd be all over the place. I'm remembering that soon after that, they showed that video with Jansen. And you know what I'd like to say? Andy Cohen, don't do this again. We spent way too much time on Alexis and damn sure too much time on John and Jansen. So John says that he has no intentions at all for anyone to see those videos because it was an extremely difficult night for him and his 2 adult children. And he truly doesn't understand why Shannon storms Bador, would not take any accountability. Johnny is sitting here trying to act like he is the pillar of the community, like we didn't see him be a complete drunk for several seasons on the show. Like we haven't seen the real Johnny J. Get the hell out of here with this bullshit. Then he says that he's not going to show the video to anyone, but he was very open to showing the video to Shannon and only Shannon. And Alexis says, with me in the room. I said, oh God, you are looking so clownish. I'm embarrassed as hell. I'm sitting on my couch, closing my eyes like, oh no. I mean, just ridiculous. What do you need to be in the room for? As if you haven't seen the video. Get the hell out of here. Oh, some of the girls said, what's wrong with her? Why does she need to be in the room? Even Heather said, why does she need to be in the room? Shannon says, I've got 4 years of videos of him too. He says that Shannon has mischaracterized him and is making him look like a monster. No, you made yourself look like a monster. All Shannon said is that she paid for the relationship at the beginning of the relationship. And then, of course, last season through the girls, not through Shannon, but through the girls, we heard that you call her fat and unattractive. That's all we've heard. You know, you are the one who's making yourself look like a damn monster. Alexis keeps saying that no one was ever supposed to say anything about those videos. She didn't mean to do it. And Shannon was absolutely right in saying you didn't mean to do it, but you brought it up multiple times. You absolutely meant to do it. It absolutely was a threat. You don't continue to say that shit if you didn't mean to say it the first time. The first time you said it, you should have said, oh, I didn't mean to say that, and never bring it up again. But you continued to bring it up and then making that damn excuse that you didn't know that they were being filmed. Get out of here with your lying ass. Andy even gave her a chance for redemption. He said, do you feel sorry about how you came in? You came in really hot at the beginning. And she says, I'm not going to apologize for defending my man. Oh, God, everybody, in case you didn't know, Johnny J is Alexis's man. In case you didn't know. Jeez. In the middle of all this crap, Andy says, oh my goodness, I'm going to land this plane. And Shannon said, please do. It's time for friend of to exit the show. Goodbye. That was so perfect. Andy says, let's move on. Shannon said, yes, goodbye. Andy says goodbye to Alexis, giving her good wishes. He says maybe some of these ladies will be invited to your wedding. Gina busts out laughing and looks at Emily, and she says, I wouldn't hold our breath. And of course, nobody gives a shit. Then after she finally leaves, Emily makes the truest statement she has made since she's been on this reunion.
In summary, that every trash can needs a lid, and I think John Jansen found his. So.
Okay. Then Emily goes on to just be a complete idiot as far as I'm concerned.
You will put things like, I don't subscribe to mean girl behavior. Yep. Yeah, you do, because you're friends with this. So and to me, this is the ultimate mean girl. I would take Tamara over that.
Let me ask you a question.
I would never be friends with a woman like that.
Yeah, but there's another
But you
side
are.
to
She
it.
sits right next to you. I think there's a difference. This one,
There is no difference.
Well, to me, there is.
Okay, then it matters just for you.
I just have a problem with everyone being complicit.
I just have a problem with everyone being complicit. Says the woman who stood behind Tamara almost the entire season. Says the woman that sat around filming with Tamara talking mad shit about Jen and Katie almost the entire season. And you have the nerve to be talking. Emily making that statement that Alexis trying to humiliate Shannon, you know, worldwide or whatever, on a worldwide level. I can't remember exactly what she said, so I'm paraphrasing. Emily, listen, Alexis is a complete jackass. I agree. She's a clown. She's doing too damn much. But you can't compare Alexis to Tamara. Tamara has been terrorizing Shannon for a very long time. Not only did she terrorize Shannon, she also terrorized Jen. And while you're sitting there on the couch with the rest of the mean girls, did you not notice that what couch you were on? You should be calling yourself out, calling Tamara out, calling Heather out, and Alexis. You are the biggest hypocrite right now. Don't try to go hard on Jen. You treated Jen like shit. You were a mean girl on a worldwide level to her all fucking season. And so was Heather. She treated Katie like crap. You started to treat Katie like crap. And Tamara was out of her mind being vile and vicious to Shannon and to Jen. And I have no idea why Andy sat there babysitting Tamara's ass for 3 parts of this reunion, coaching her through this. She got away with this shit. She got away this reunion with being such a nasty, rude, disgusting woman. 3-part reunion, and no one really truly held her feet to the fire. I don't understand that. I mean, this whole thing was wrong. You can't even think about comparing Alexis to Tamara. Alexis came in and she was hot, she was rude, she did stupid stuff, but you can't compare that. Tamara has been a vile, vicious person the whole time. I'll never forget some of the low-brow stuff that she's done. And why didn't Andy mention Emily peeing in Katie's bushes? Tamara peeing at that woman's pool, and all that other disgusting behavior. You cannot compare Alexis and Tamara. Jen ate Emily's ass up, didn't she? Emily with that, I would never be friends with a woman like that. Yeah, you would. You're sitting right next to her. Absolutely. I am so happy that Jen has found her voice. I am so happy that Jen is not going to allow these ladies to try that bullshit with her. Yes, you would. You and Heather sat right in the middle between 2 of the meanest women. And then all 4 of you sat on the same couch because all 4 of you were villains. And not only that, you kept saying, how can you guys be friends with Alexis? How can you be friends with Tamara? How can Heather be friends with all 3 of you? It was absolutely so hypocritical of Emily to bring that up. Don't get on Jen and Katie for bullshit that you're doing. And then that last 10 minutes, what was that? Heather and Tamara, you just showed that you're not real friends of Shannon. You have known this for months and you wait until now. And to me, this was Tamara and Heather and Bravo trying to set something up for them to become friends again. And it was already proven when they tried that whole hug and makeup at the reunion. Jen was on it right then. Jen said, and this is where Tamara tells her she didn't mean it. She did it because she loves her. She was concerned. Such bullshit. All facts. We all know that this whole thing is bullshit. Tamara and Heather are in the toilet with the fans, and they set this bullshit up to try to redeem the 2 of them. Andy was trying to work this togetherness, friendship bullshit so hard, trying to help Tamara. I don't know what the hell is going on and why Andy did this, but no ma'am. This was a lame attempt to try to salvage this group. You can get rid of Heather and Tamara. We're fine with it. I don't buy it. The best thing for Shannon to do is to continue like her therapist told her. Get out of this friendship with Tamara. It's not going to work. You have been treated like shit by her for years. If you can't see that, Shannon, I'm concerned. Regarding John and his daughter hearing that accident and not going to help Shannon, that just proves that both of them are complete heartless people. John was in a relationship with this woman for 5 years. Even if you're having an argument and you're upset, you still go check on the person. That makes them look like bad people, in my opinion. And as far as these videos go, if I was Shannon, I would absolutely go see the videos. Or I would just tell John, go ahead and release those videos. You are not going to hold this over my head. This is not going to be something that I'm going to be afraid of for the rest of my life. That at some moment you're going to get pissed off and drop these videos. Just go ahead, release them, or at least let me see them so that I can tell my children and then come out publicly and describe the videos and take accountability for my actions. I was drunk out of my mind, and I also ran into these people's house. So clearly you know that I was drunk. that's what I would tell John and Alexis. Go ahead, drop those videos, or at least go ahead and let me see them so that I can know exactly what's on them, what I did, and take responsibility for it. You will not be holding this shit over my head. Anyway, peeps, get down in the comments and let me know what you think. And until next time, bye.